What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Laidback since '96, and I'm back at it with another sideline story. So this sideline story, we're talking about the time I got caught with Playboy porn by my folks. Okay. Man, that was a while back, man. It was back when I was like in 5th grade, you know? In 5th grade, I was impressionable, of course, you know. Clearly I was in 5th grade. I had a friend. We're gonna call him Chris. Chris, I know your last name, but I'm not gonna even disclose all that because I don't want people to be like, oh, I know who they are. I ain't gonna do all that. But anyway, Chris, me and him, we had got cool over time. We was in Miss Higgins' class or whatnot. Miss Higgins, shout out to you, Miss Higgins. Helped me graduate elementary school. But we was getting close whenever we sat by each other, you know. Chris, to be very honest, y'all, me as a kid in elementary school, I was, you know, I did my work. I was obedient or whatnot.
What is it?
I just talked, you know. And it's not that I would talk like to, you know, purposefully like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to teacher. It's like literally, I just had a short attention span. And honestly, when my friends were talking, I would talk, I would listen, I would talk back. This is how it was. But
Oh, brother!
you know, and all that, you know, it goes into all, you know, behavior essays and stuff like that. When I got in trouble, whatever, it's like all the teachers could say about me was, Verdell does his work. You know, Will does his work, but he just talks. They would say I disrupt class. I didn't. First off, I didn't disrupt class.
Not for real though.
But anyway, that's a side note. Back onto the story. So me and Chris, we got close or whatever. Chris, he had a mom, you know, who all the students pretty much got in contact with because she worked at the school. I'm not gonna disclose her job because I know Chris might have felt some type of way about it. But you know, Chris's mom worked at the school. Okay, so everybody got in contact through his mom. Like so Chris, you know, he was sometimes. Just me looking back, I feel like he would act out for attention because he probably wouldn't get the attention from his mom because, you know, she already worked at the school. She really, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how his home life was, but I could just tell the way he would act up for attention. And, you know, he would, you know, slightly disrupt class sometimes. And that bad streak rubbed off on me or whatnot, you know, through our bonding as friends. So one time coming back from this school field trip. We came back from some school field trip. I don't know what it was to. I probably was to the botanical gardens or something. Chris was like, hey man, I got something cool. I think it was on his phone, his iPhone, I don't know. I think he had a phone. Whatever it was, he was telling me, man, it's something cool, man. I get to see like these girls. And I'm like, how do you get to see these girls? He's like, I get to see these girls naked. And I'm like,
Say what?
what you mean? Like, what do you mean you get to see these girls naked? What? Bro, what you mean? What? Get it? Tell me. You know what I'm saying? Tell me. And he was like, bro, well, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, bro, I go to this website and the girls are there. They're naked, you know what I mean? And they looking good, you know what I'm saying? He tells me the website. He writes down the website. He was like, hey man, go check it out. I'm like, me as a kid, I'm like, naked girls, you got my attention. Even though that wasn't something that was on my mind at the time, you know, any 5th grade boy, you tell them naked girls, I'm like, oh, let me see.
You better preach it, Pastor.
You know, apparently it was Playboy.com. I went on Playboy.com on my parents' computer or whatnot after school that day, my God. So I go home, I click in Playboy.com, I'm like, oh my gosh, you see these girls? And to be very honest, I'm pretty sure they were mostly white, but it wasn't even the point of that. It's just the fact of seeing a whole naked girl, which blew my mind. I'm like, naked girl, oh my God. Blew my mind, you know what I'm saying? But, so with the fact of that, you know, I seen them and I'm like, I wanna like save them. I wanna like remember these pictures. I wanna like, cause you know, I think around this time I'm figuring out, you know, masturbation and all that. So I'm like, oh man, I need some of this for later.
Yo, shout the season, man.
You know what I'm saying? Cause the only computer we had we had 3 computers in my house, but the only one that had internet was my parents. Like we had like this Linksys like USB drive that helped, you know, reroute like Wi-Fi to the computer, but it was crappy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it was crappy. It didn't do as much for me as it probably did for my sister in her room. But in any case, we're not gonna get into all that. Point on the matter. It wasn't gonna be no way I was gonna be able to get it on my computer at the time. So I was like, shoot, I'm not gonna be able to get on the computer when they're home and look at this stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna need a picture of it, right? So I get you know, I'm over here like, well, how am I gonna get the picture? I'm gonna print it, right? I said, let me print this junk. Lo and behold, I was not able, it did not print. It did not print, bro. The computer did not print it, bro. I said, well, I guess that's a sign from God. I'm just gonna let it go. I was like, okay, well, leave it alone, you know what I'm saying? Guys, when I say I learned a very technological lesson after that day. Because apparently, the reason it didn't print was because there was no paper. Can you believe it? No paper. So my goofy 5th grader butt thought, oh, well, it's over, right? It's done. There's nothing to do. Okay, that moment's over, right? Go back to my room, play video games, whatever it was, do homework, whatever it was, you know? Man, when I say if it wasn't the next day, it was the day after that. I think whatever day, it was either the next day or the day after that. My dad comes and rolls up in my room. He's like, son, how you doing? I'm like, doing all right, you know? I'm like, hey, what's good? Like, I'm doing well. He's like, come into my room, come into my room. I was like, cool. You know, it was all weird out of nowhere, and I'm like, whoa. Apparently, you guys, those pictures printed.
Duh.
Because all the printer needed was paper, my guys.
Not too smart, huh?
At a young age, I learned if the printer ain't working, either it's ink or it's paper. It's probably not a technical error when you click that print button, because it's a print job and it's saved in a queue. So I'm like, he was like, did you print something? Did you print naked girls or something? He ambushed me with like this bold, out of the way question. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Like honestly, and it wasn't no lie, guys. I literally wasn't doing it to lie. I literally forgot about the whole thing. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's what it is. So then my dad starts having this whole like moment with me, like trying to talk to me about, you know, the birds and the bees and stuff like that and whatnot. But you know, later on to come find out, you know, this even spewed from this, like, apparently, side note, guys, well, of course, you probably all have had this yourselves. You know how your parents be like, whatever happens in the house stays in the house type junk? Like, don't be telling our business. My mom, is the biggest hypocrite about that ever. I'm talking about like stuff where, like, you know, if I was like at the moment when I was like, you know, like with like potty training and all that other stuff, let's just talk, like, we're not gonna get into all that. She would tell business about that. Like, she was the biggest hypocrite about that. But apparently, in that case, both my parents ended up telling my grandparents about it. And like, my grandparents on my dad's side, 'cause my grandparents on my mom's side were in Tuscaloosa, but my grandparents on my dad's side, they live like 10 minutes away from us. So I was just like, I could just remember being so embarrassed, so shy to even think about it, because I knew that they knew. I don't, like that whole, like for a good week or two, just going over there was just so uncomfortable for me, because I was like, they know that, and like I know it was like as a kid, I knew they were judging, it just was an awkward time, you know what I mean? And it was just like, oh my gosh, I learned one of my biggest lessons about like being embarrassed and shyness and, you know, dealing with a printer from that moment. And also I realized, don't do what Chris says, because Chris is gonna get you in some weird situation. Me and Chris had, you know, other like rambunctious moments and episodes together, but that's stories for another time if I remember them. But that one came to me and I was like, but if you like this video, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe, click it, subscribe, man. If you like this video, of course, like the video, you know? There's nothing wrong with liking a video if you like the video. I mean, it's common sense if I think right, yeah, like the video. But without further ado, it's your boy Laidback since 96, and I'm out.
Food on my plate, young nigga driving a foreign, don't know what to do on a rape. Keep two in the safe, it look like I'm choking my paddock, cause that bitch is blowing the face. No view in the wake, niggas will shoot at your face and jump in the coupe and just race. I been locked in the booth for a day. You asked to get out, niggas moving like trains.